Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to Brittany Lane's Bookies. If you're new here, welcome. If you were coming back, thanks for coming back and hanging out with me. I know it's been a couple of weeks. I'm so sorry. Life has been lifing lately. I know I owe you guys an October roundup, November reads, but today that is not what we were talking about. Over the weekend, November 14th and 15th, was down in Charleston for Y'allFest 2025. I've never been to Y'allFest. I only live a couple of hours from Charleston, so I figured before I move, why not go for my first time? I met up with a wonderful group of human beings who I know from Bookstagram, and we all obviously headed down, but we hung out both days. There were so many exciting things that happened. Influencer events that I was invited to, ARC drops, signings, meeting authors for the first time. It was incredible. So that is what the video today is going to be about. You will see me sitting here talking about it now that I am home doing my haul. I also will have clips that I'll insert after the first day that I was there, and we will just go through all of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now that we're back, Y'allFest was incredible. The videos that you will see are me talking about the whole first day. I drove down, I got there Thursday afternoon, and it started on Friday. My schedule was kind of packed on Friday, but not a ton. And then Saturday was wild. Friday, my first event was at 1, and it was a signing with Rebecca Ross. I have been around since the Arc of Divine Rivals, which I should probably reread because I need to read the sequel, Ruthless Vows, and I was able to get an Arc of Wild reference. But I got to meet her and get my friend Jalen's book signed because I was going to see her again later that night. After I was able to meet Rebecca, which I did get the candid photos from the signing. We will talk about other photos later, but after that, I went and met up with my friends Taylor and her friend Molly for Fierce Friday, which had a bunch of authors at it. I was mainly going, I had a signing that I was supposed to go through at 3:30 or 3, from 3 to 4, and unfortunately I couldn't find a place to park, so I didn't actually end up getting to go to that, but it's fine because I was able to see that author on Saturday. But we went to Fierce Friday. I got to meet Axio, who I arc read ASAP when it originally came out, and it solidified my love for Axie. And it was so great getting to meet her. I had so much fun. I also got to see Marie Lou, who was sitting next to her. I didn't actually get to meet Marie, but she was sitting next to Axie, and it was incredible. It was fantastic. And I guess for the first time in a couple of years, they had like gifties and stuff there. So there were a couple of arcs. You had to pick one, a tote bag, and some other like little swaggy items that I picked up. I will go through all of that. So we did Fierce Friday, and then I was going to try to see Shannon J. Spawn. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a place to park, so I didn't get to see her on Friday. My friends Taylor and Molly did, and they loved meeting her. And then from there, we went to my first ever influencer event that I was invited to from Saturday Books, which is the new adult imprint from St. Martin's Press. I was honored that I was invited, and I'm still like not able to get over it. They had a bunch of finished copies, a bunch of arcs. They had these cute little swag bags, and you could make like these fun little like self-care bags. And they had a Rachel Schneider, who wrote Metal Slinger. They had Isabel Ibanez, who wrote Graceless Heart, and a couple of other books, I believe, What the River Knows. And Rebecca Ross was also there. I forgot to take pictures of all of them. You'll notice that a lot of this I forgot to take pictures, so I'll still insert the pictures that I did take. But that is also where I met up with Sabrina, Sophie. I saw Taylor again. I also met some new friends, and there were people there that I also like did not realize until they had posted that they were there. So a couple of people I've been following on Bookstagram, Ashlyn, Savannah, Nada, a bunch of people were there, and I was like, oh my god. Um, our friend Cassie was also there. Or there's another Cassie who was there. There's a separate Cassie. There's two Cassies, who has known me for a little while, and I didn't put two and two together because we all went on name tags, but I didn't have my actual like handle on mine. So like there were so many people there that like I probably recognized and followed and was like, oh my god, you were there. Like I didn't put it together, so that was really fun. But there's another chunk that I will insert right here that you can see of me talking about all of the events from Friday and how it went and how it all felt. So I will insert that in the pictures from Friday right here.
Well, hello, friends. We are about to leave for day one of Y'allFest. First up for me is Rebecca Ross signing, and then I have Fierce Friday. We went kid but casual today, so I'm super excited because I'm meeting a group of Bookstagram friends, and we're all gonna hang out. And they've also been here before, so they've been helping me out. I'm super excited, so I will be taking you with me. We'll probably alternate between phone footage and my actual camera, but let's go Y'allFest.
Hi, friends. Yes, I'm in my jammies. No, you don't get to make fun of me. Have I taken a lot of pictures and videos? No, I will be honest. Today was a little chaotic. Has been kind of crazy. But excuse me for sneezing. It's been cold and hot, so my allergies are like, girl, what season is it? Um, Today was so much fun. I will tag the friends that I have met and hung out with in the description. Um, my friend Sabrina. I also met my friend Taylor. My friend. Um, Goodness gracious, why is my brain? Anyways, clearly the Adderall is worn off. My friend Shay. I met Taylor's friend Molly, who is also lovely. Tomorrow I get to meet a few other friends. I also found out from my friend Hope that her friend Flavia was going to be here, and I ended up getting to meet her, and it was the best time. Everyone that I've met has been genuinely so nice and so kind. Today, we first started off, I did a signing with Rebecca Ross, and she is a lovely human being. Like, honestly, one of the loveliest people. She's also gorgeous. Hello. I mean, every author I've met is gorgeous, so whatever. Um, she was so nice. I was doing, which I will talk about in a little bit, I was doing an event with Saturday Books later, so I was getting some of one of my friends' books signed for her. After that, I went and met up with Taylor and Molly at Fierce Friday, and y'all, if you want a hilarious story, I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube. Oh, that was rude. My alarm for my meds went off. Um, I do take my antidepressant at night, so it was just reminding me to do that. Um, so I went and met my friends Taylor and Molly at Fierce Friday, and apparently the last few years they've like not given anything away. It's mainly just a signing with a bunch of authors. When we got to the front of the door, I saw a table. There were arcs on that table. I've talked about her books on Instagram. I know, um, but Farida, I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm so sorry. Um, I should probably pull the airs out, but anyway, it's Farida's new book, The Heirs, and I saw it on the table, and I saw them like quickly start to dwindle, and I was like, oh my god, if I see this book and I cannot grab it, I might have a meltdown. I've been dying for this book. My friend Station, I've been talking about it since it was announced, and Taylor was right in front of me, and there was one left. And she was jokingly gonna grab it and then giving it to me. But I ended up getting the airs. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to fight for my life at the 9 a.m. drop at the Fierce Reads booth. But we got some really cool swag from them. A couple of things from the Grishaverse, Lee Bardugo, Six of Crows, and I got a ticket to Axie O's signing. And I believe I've talked about her books before, um, but I arc read a long time ago her debut novel XOXO and fell in love with it. She became an auto-buy author, so I got to meet her and I got to tell her that, which was really really cool. For those who don't know, and I'll probably talk about this in the intro, I have never like done a big con like this, so this is very new for me. Um, but that was really cool. She was also giving away prints and a pin, which was so fun. So I got to meet her, which was great. I was also like 5 feet from Marie Lou, and I was kind of like, this is wild. So that was a lot of fun. And then Molly, Taylor, and I were trying to get from Fierce Friday, which is like 2 miles away because it was at a library in Charleston, back over to where like a lot of the other events are. And we had to do it by 3:45 to get in line for Shannon's band's signing line, because she was going to have arcs of stage supervillains. Taylor and Molly ended up making it. I did not. So I went back over and Saturday Books, which shout out to them for this because I did not know I was cool enough to get an invite, but Saturday Books invited some influencers to an event that was specific to us. Um, Rebecca Ross was there, Isabella Banes was there, and Rachel Snyder was there. And they also had a ton of books, finished copies, arcs. They were doing raffles. It was such a great event. They had coffee and snackies, and they did like this little bingo, which was fun. And that was where I once again met up with Taylor. I met Shay, I met Sabrina, I met Sophie, and I literally just had like the best time. We had so much fun. That is also where I met Flavia. And Rachel was so nice. She was so funny because we all had name tags on. And if you've ever seen me print my name, because I don't do this when it's in cursive, if you've ever seen me print my name, you will know that for the longest time, I do it like Britt, and the T's look like an H, but the A is the script A, like Alabama. And she asked me, she was like, is this like a stylistic thing? So there I was explaining to her, yes, it's stylistic. Like, I'm an Alabama alum. I've been a fan since '05. So, like, I was a fan long before I ended up going there. And she was like, oh no, I'm from Louisiana. And I was like, oh God. Oh God. Oh no. She was super nice about it. And I was like, I don't have beef with LSU. I'm so sorry. Um, we did get a joke about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase because, as most of you know, I am born and raised in Cincinnati, and I am a Bengals fan. So I said, well, I can say thank you to your alma mater or the school you support because they gave the Bengals Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So we had a good laugh about that. She was super super sweet. Um, she signed Metal Slinger. We talked a little bit about Lightbringer. And I got to see Rebecca Ross again, which was a blast. I got my book signed, and she is so kind. We also talked about because she lives in Georgia, and I was like, yeah, I used to live there, but I lived kind of closer to the city because I did go into Atlanta for work. I worked for Delta, and she was like, oh my god, did you really? It's my favorite airline, and I was like, yeah, I was a flight attendant for Delta for 8 years. So we talked about that. We talked about her love for Delta. Um, and then, like, she was signing my name and she's like, do you want me to sign it the same way you do? And I was like, that depends. I went to Alabama, so like that's why the A is like that. She was like, honestly, I don't really have beef with Alabama. I was like, sweet, because I don't really have beef with GA. But Tennessee, that's a different story. We'll talk about that later. Um, so we were laughing together. She is so kind. I mean, honestly, Isabel, Rachel, and Rebecca were all so kind. So is the entire Saturday Book staff, and I find it so funny because I've been in SMP's program for a long time. Like I was a tiny influencer with them. Um, but it was so funny, like meeting the people who email me, like if I've requested like ebooks or something, like meeting them in person, like putting a face to a name, like actually being able to talk to them. That was super cool. We had the best time. It was so much fun, and I can't thank Saturday enough. That was a really great experience. I've never been invited to an influencer event, so it felt really cool. I felt kind of special. I had a lot of fun. It has been a blast so far. Tomorrow's a big day. I'm definitely going to bed early because we will be up early. Um, and we're going to try to do the source books drop at 9. After that, I am going to an event with Simon Teen for their influencers, which again, this makes me feel so cool. Like, am I old enough to be an influencer mom? Am I? Um, so I'll have an event with them, and then after that event, I will head back to Lit Alley because I have a signing with Alex Hester. I will admit I have not read her Light Lark series. I'm so sorry, but I read her adult romance, Summer in the City, and absolutely adored it. Literally loved it. I could not get enough. So I brought my two favorite copies of that and Nightbane to get signed, and I'm really excited to meet her. She seems like such a sweetheart, and I cannot wait. And look, I'm just saying, if anybody from William and Morrow, Avon, Harper Voyager, whomstever has Nightshade wants to, slide your girl a copy, I won't say no. So I'm super excited to see her. I was also supposed to see Tracy Dion. She is sick. I'm being really brave about it because if you know me, I think at this point I've probably talked about the Legendborn cycle ad nauseum, but she is staying home, which we are only wishing her well wishes. I totally understand, especially as someone who is dealing with and still dealing with the symptoms of long COVID. I hope she has a speedy recovery. I hope she's doing well. And I'm sending her a little extra pixie dust. I am sad that I don't get to meet her. I've been trying to meet her since Legendborn came out, but one day I will get to meet Tracy Dion. And then I'm going to try. We have our fingies crossed, okay? There is an 11 a.m. drop with Underline for their noon event. And I'm going to try to get tickets to that. And if I don't, then at noon, you will catch me at the Simon Teen booth because your girl has to get Aftermath by Tracy Wolf, okay? Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Tracy Wolf. She's also a friend of mine. So I'm a little biased, but not really. So I'm hoping to pick up Aftermath. I'm not sure what other events my friends and I are wanting to do. We're gonna try and figure it out. I know Disney is doing an event with Sasha E. Sloan and giving away her book, and I might try to swing by that, but I do also have a signing at that time, so I don't know if I'll get to go. But um I also get to, thankfully, this was probably the hardest ticket drop, was Ava Reed. I didn't actually get a ticket, but my friend Taylor did, and she's letting me have the ticket. Because if you know me, you know I have two dedicated shelves to Ava Reed in my house. I am unwell, and my good friend Sabrina hooked me up. Her Inamorata arc from Del Rey came a little bit damaged, and they kindly enough sent her a new one, and she gave me the one that was a little bit damaged because Brittany doesn't care. Brittany just wants it. Um, so since only one person in our group, because we all tried to get Ava Reed tickets, was able to get a ticket, I'm getting both her arc and my arc signed by Ava. I am so excited. Ava and Tracy were the two authors that I was dying to see. I am still freaking out. I've been a fan of Ava since I arc read The Wolf and the Woodsman, and you're allowed up to 3 books. I do have a third, and it is the deluxe edition of The Wolf and the Woodsman because I am dumb and I forgot to order a signed copy, which, excuse me, I usually do with all of Ava's books. So I'm really, really excited to get that signed because The Wolf and the Woodsman is how it all started for me, and I'm excited to get to meet her. That is also after, um, since there were still tickets left and I didn't get to see Shannon today, I have a ticket to her signing tomorrow. I'm getting the arc for a friend, but I'm super excited to meet her. She seems so sweet, and I cannot wait. Sorry, I'm also putting on a hockey game because the Islanders are playing, and you're probably sitting there like, Brittany, you just said you were born and raised in Cincinnati. Why are you a fan of a New York hockey team? Let me tell you, is this completely off topic? Yes, you bet it is. um, do I care? No, because I'm about to explain a thing or two to you. So my mom was born in Cincinnati and she lived there until she was 6. And then unfortunately, her dad passed in a car accident. And my grandma met my grandpa, who obviously I've known my whole life. And they ended up, once they got married, moved to New York. So my mom grew up, spent most of her formative years in New York. And as a young child, I'm pretty sure I was forced into a, heavens. I don't even know who they're playing. It looks like Utah, and Utah just scored. And it gets really loud with the foghorns at hockey games. But anyway, so my mom at a very young age put me into a sweatsuit for the Islanders, and I think ever since then I'm forced into their fandom. Are they good? Sometimes, but it's been like years since they won a Stanley Cup, and by years I mean it might be longer than the Reds drought for a World Series. So, clearly I choose teams that bring me pain, but that's the side note. That's what I was trying to do. Um, so yes, I'm gonna see Shannon tomorrow. I'm very excited. The friend that I'm getting the arc for does know, and she is so so excited. I cannot wait. I'm also gonna try if I can sneak it in. I'm gonna try to meet Elise Kova because I've never met her, and I adore Elise to no end. I've been a fan for 5 or 6 years now, and she's incredible. So I'm dying to see her. I would really love to see her, A, because I have an original copy of Air Awakens, and I also want her to sign my German Water's Wrath. Why, you ask? Because Water's Wrath is my favorite book in the series, and I also have the American version that I want from a giveaway in her group a few years ago, and we've had a running joke ever since because I don't want to give it away because it's spoiler, but there's a running joke because of something that happens in that book, and she put in like this because it was personalized. She literally apologized for what she did. It's like a joke. So like I want her to put a face to a name and like tell her, "Hi, yes, I was the one that you did that for. That's me." um and then obviously, well, not obviously, I do have an Arcana Academy arc that a friend sent to me after she finished it. So I'm gonna have her sign that if I can see her. I'm hoping that I can, and then hopefully get to Simon Teen, and then after that go see Dustin Tao, who I'm also excited about. You guys have seen the video that I did talking about You Found Oliver. I do have my You Found Oliver arc with me, and I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping, I have tickets. It's one of the ticketed signings. I have tickets to see Dustin. I'm so excited. I have been a fan since I arc read, You've Reached Sam, as we've talked about, and that book holds a very special place in my heart. And I'm super excited. And then from Dustin signing, I go get to see Ava. And then after that, I think we're going to end up at the Mayhem booth just to hang out and do some crafties. And your girl loves a good crafty. So tomorrow's an action packed day. We are getting up very early and I'm super excited. I'm going to try to get more pictures and videos. There are some candids of me with Rebecca Ross at the first signing, and there's a picture of me and Axio. I think my friends have also taken pictures with me. I'm gonna have to ask them for them so that I can include them in the video, but I've had such a great time, and this has been so much fun. I'm definitely planning on coming back next year. I may be forcing a few friends to come with me so that we can have a great time together, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, now that you've seen everything from Friday, let's go into Saturday. Saturday was a very early morning. I was so lucky because I talked about it in the video clip that you just saw that I was able to get, goodness gracious, if I can find it, I was able to get the airs at Fierce Friday, and I was willing to wait in the line for Macmillan and Fierce Reads just to get this book. Anybody who knows me knows I love Frida, and I've been dying to get my grubby little mitts on this, so I was so glad that I was able to get it so that I could sit in the line for Source Books Twinkling Tomes drop, which that drop included, let's talk about them. It included Flicker State by F.A. Davidson, which sounds incredible. I'm just going to read the top little blurb. It says, A Study in Drowning meets Neverworld Wake in this debut YA fantasy filled with lush world-building, heart-stopping romance, and high-stakes competition that could be the key to everything. Plus, it's like a straight-up bound manuscript without the final cover, which I thought was really, really cool. It also included The Sun and the Star Maker by Rachel Griffin, which I am so, so excited about. I have the e-arc of this, but I was dying to get my hands on a physical. I have been reading more physical and audio lately just because of my migraines. We also got She Knows All the Names by Michelle Habez Corpora, which also sounds really good. I'm trying to I believe this is a sequel, maybe? But this is the bound manuscript of this. And we got Burn the Kingdom Down by Addie Thorley, which I am also really, really excited about. Also, plus this cover is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the top, like, little blurb says, an action-packed enemies to lovers fantasy filled with a romance that will leave you breathless, betrayals that will rip your heart out, and a princess who will stop at nothing for revenge. I'm so excited for this. It sounds incredible. I cannot wait. I was so excited for this because I'm so excited for so many of these. So I was so glad we were able to get in this line. And because Sourcebook started a little bit early because they had pre-counted the 50 out. There were only 50 of these bags, and it was a kind of like a race in a sense to get there. We got there at 5, and our whole group sat there until 9 a.m. when the drop was. They started at like 8:55, which was cool because we were then able to get in line for Fierce Reads anyway, which I thought was really neat. So we did, and let's talk about it. They also handed out One Word, Six Letters by Adib Khorram when you were getting your tickets, so I got that. And they were doing 2 tickets, and I chose the must-reads tickets and one for a single book. The must-read that I got, anyone who knows me knows my adoration and love for Tashi. I did not know this was going to be there, so when I saw it that morning, I was like, I hope we can get tickets after we hopped from Sports Books, and we were able to, and they still had tickets for this one left. I got Right as Rain by Tashi Boyahan, which I'm so excited. This is my first physical for Tashi, so I'm gooped, gagging, gobsmacked. I cannot wait to read this. And then the other one that I got, ta-da, was the gorgeous arc for Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. I am so excited. So excited. This comes out next summer. She's come out with a few books since. This is, I think, a new, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does say. It says, this begins an epic new romantic dystopian fantasy from Veronica Roth. Obviously, this is not the final cover, but I was so excited to have this my hands on this. So those were the two that I ended up getting from that drop. There was also a drop that Penguin was doing at the end of the day where they were giving away a thriller. They had two, and I'd already had one, and I was so excited. I had just gotten the e-arc for this, but I was able to get Sundown Girls by Ella Stratton, and I cannot wait for this. It sounds incredible. It's all about sundown towns, and if you don't know what those are, I highly encourage you to look them up because they do still exist today, as does the racism, not only in the United States but all over the world. But sundown towns have been around for a very, very long time, and I am so excited to see how this plays out. I'll just give you a quick little brief about it. It says, when the sun goes down in a sundown town, be wise and beware. When the sun goes down in a sundown town, make sure you are scarce. For when the sun goes down in a sundown town, only the foolhardy stay there. So I'm very excited for this. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. I have been excited for this since they announced it. It comes out in January, so this is definitely very, very close to one of my next books that I'm going to read. Now, after we did got the tickets for Fierce Reads and the Sourcebooks drop, I headed with my friend Cassie to an event that I was invited to by Simon Teen for their influencers, and they gave us these adorable little bags. I'm going into my bag of bags of things, and they give us these cute little bags, and I'm going to pull it out. Oh, that's my Saturday Books bag. Where is my tiny bag? You know, you'd think I'd be better prepared, but I'm not. And it has Bree from, goodness gracious, the Legendborn Cycle on it. And I believe Ariel and Leah are from Coldwire by Chloe Gong. And then Liz, Wes, and Peyton are from the Fearless series by Lauren Roberts. And they give us like these little baggies. And what we were doing was making a TBR journal, which I thought was really, really fun. And it included like some Simon Teen stickies and a way to like talk about your 2026 reading goals, and it's just lined, so that is really fun. I'm super excited. And the bag also had the physical for Beth is Dead by Katie Burnett, which I'm super, super excited about this. So I'm thrilled to have a physical. Thrilled. The event was incredible. I finally got to meet James and Amy from the Simon Teen team. I've known James since he was at Penguin Teen a few years ago. He is incredible. He's funny, and I was so excited to meet him. I also got to meet some of their influencers, and they introduced me some incredible people that I am now following and get to hang out with online virtually. I also got to meet Nika, who I've been following forever. I will tag all of these people that I've referenced in the description box. And I felt so weird going up to her, but I had to tell her like how long I've been following her, and to be able to talk to her, it was an incredible thing. Like I loved it. It was wonderful. There were just so many great people that I was able to meet at the event. I think for both Saturday and for Simon Teen, they filmed like little clips. So I'm excited to see those pop up on socials. And it was mainly us talking about what books we're excited about and our favorite books from the line. my answer for Simon Teen's favorite books was, I think it was rude that you made me decide between the Legend-Born Cycle and the To All the Boys series, but those are my top 2 favorites. Those are my ride or dies. And the books that I'm most excited for in 2026 is A Clash of Carnivores by LaSalle Sandberry. It's the sequel to A Mastery of Monsters, because that book has lived rent free in my head since I've read it. And I am so excited. For Wednesday, they were talking about Saturday books, and the most excited we were to read, mine is obviously Grace's Heart, because it sounds incredible, and I can't wait to see them. But I will go through the rest of what I got, since I don't think I pictured it in that video. My wonderful friend Sabrina, her and her husband did get tickets to Shannon J. Spawn's Friday signing, and they were able to get me an arc of A Stage Set for Villains, because I was getting mine for a friend. But I have it, it's signed. I cannot wait to read this, talk about it. I'm a theater nerd, so I'm super excited. At the Saturday event, the arcs that we got Darkening Song by Delphine Sutton, which sounds incredible. I'm super excited about this, and I love the tagline, "All fame cost her was everything." So if you know me, you know that I love like any kind of like thriller mystery, so very excited about this. We also got Stranger Things Have Happened by Casey West, and hello, this is fake dating period, sign me up. We got Burnout Summer by Jenna Ramirez, which also sounds really good. It says it happened one summer meets Emily Henry in this Be Two Friends to Lovers debut with all the heart and heat you'll need for the perfect escape. So again, sign me up. This just sounds so fun, I'm sorry. The Divine Gardener's Handbook, or What to Do If Your Girlfriend Accidentally Turns Off the Sun by Eli Snow. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm sorry, this just sounds hilarious. I was super excited to see this because I hadn't really heard of it yet. But it's there, and I want to say, I'm trying to figure out when this comes out. It comes out in August of 2026. So super excited to talk about this, to read it, and I can't wait. And then of course, we have to talk about it. I did indeed get the Graceless Heart arc by Isabel Ibanez, and it came with gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous prints. Hello. We stand the prints, and it is signed and personalized. So I think that's really cool. And I was correct. She did write What the River Knows, so my brain did work for once. This sounds so good, and I cannot wait. They also gave out a few of the finished copies, which are gorgeous. Those like metallic purple edges. Perfection, literal perfection. I was trying to see if they had a picture of it, but they don't. It's gorgeous. I'm super excited about this. Rent free in my head. We also got a copy of the new version of Metal Slinger. I wish they had the sequel Lightbringer. I haven't read this yet, but I've heard so many good things. I do have a funny story. I think I told it in the other video. But yeah. Meeting Rachel was very funny as an Alabama fan. These are also signed and personalized. We also got finished copies of Overdue by Stephanie Perkins, which is gorgeous. And I have heard this is really, really emotional. So just be warned. And we also got Fallen City by Adrienne Young. I adore Adrienne's writing, so I'm super excited for this. Also, can we talk about the artwork inside this? Hello, this edition is gorge. And I cannot wait to read. And then they also have the finished copies with the sprite edge for Wild Reverence. With this gorgeous, gorgeous, like, this casing is stunning. I'm obsessed with it. And the insides are so pretty. And of course, it was indeed personalized and signed, so that's really cool. And I'm gonna go through some of the other books that I got signed now in like those few days. Obviously, I got The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea and XOXO. Oh goodness, I think I said earlier that I read ASAP first. I read XOXO, which was Xy's debut, not ASAP. Don't mind me. So I got these two signed. I got to talk to her about them, and they are personalized. She did give me art prints. They're somewhere in here that I will show later. She did personalize XOXO for me. I just mainly wanted them signed because I'm always nervous to talk about these things. I also think I forgot to get back in Rebecca's line to get the standard version of Ruthless Vows signed, but whatever. She did sign and personalize my Divine Rivals in my Barnes & Noble edition of Ruthless Vows, which I thought was neato. Also, her handwriting is gorgeous, and she is also a Delta Faithful Flyer, so we did connect about that, which is really, really fun. She is just such a delightful human being. So is Rachel, so is Isabel. I think I sat next to Isabel for 10 minutes and we were just talking about press-ons because my nails are always press-ons. If you want to see them, there you go, you can see them. They're very fall. So those were the books that I got signed via that event with Saturday, and goodness gracious, Fierce Friday, that's what I was thinking of. And then we can go into the signings that I went to on Saturday after we did the drops in the Simon Teen event. My first signing was with Alex Astor. I have not read her Light Arc series yet. It is on my TBR, but I got an e-arc of Summer in the City, and I had to tell her this story because I am nothing if not someone who thinks it's... Well, if you know me, you know that, like, I grew up going to New York. It's not my favorite place in the world, I guess you could say. So I kind of avoid it. But I was really excited about this because anybody who knows me knows I'm a romance girly. Sorry, I'm also gonna drink my coffee, which, yes, this is my mug today. Please laugh. So I was explaining to her, like, you know, my mom was raised in New York. I grew up going, so like the luster kind of wore off. And when I read this, it kind of made me want to go back to New York, and nothing ever really does that. So, like, I wanted to go to all the places they went. So I told her that the New York Tourism Board was going to hear from me. So she signed and personalized my Barnes & Noble and my Target copies. And New York Tourism Board, if you're listening to this, please put Alex Astor on your tourism board, because she made me, a notorious hater of New York, want to go back. So, and if you haven't read Summer in the City, this is from William and Morrow. It is so, so good. I'm also super excited about her adult fantasy debut. I think I messed up the name. I merged the title of that book and Crown Tide together, and we just laughed about it. I was like, I think it just all ran together at this point. I'm looking it up right now. Let me find it. Going into one of the Abby apps, but while I'm looking that up, she did also sign my copy of Nightbane. Yeah, I also mixed it up with Skyshade because I have 3 brain cells, and I was actually talking about Starside, her adult debut. So Alex, if you see this, I'm so sorry. My brain kind of melded. my brain melded Crown Tide, Starside, and Skyshade all together at once. I'm so sorry. I knew what book I was talking about. But she did also sign my copy of, which I do have these cute little overlays in. My copy of Nightbane, because I do have 2 signed copies of Lightlark. So, and I have these gorgeous, cute little overlays that go in Nightbane. So, it was really fun to meet her. She is hilarious. I will input pictures after all of this of the authors that I got to meet, all of that fun. After that, I was lucky enough that I was able to jump in to the next line that I got into. If you know me, you know I love Elise Kova. I have loved Elise Kova for a very, very long time, and she is an absolute gem of a human. She's an incredible writer. And I'm going to tell a little story before I get into the books that she signed for me. I have been a fan since, I don't want to say when Air Awakens came out. I found out about 5 years after she had published the first book. And I fell in love with the series. I binged it, I read it, I read the series afterwards. And I've read most of the third series that's set in like the same world. But a few years ago in her Facebook group, she did a giveaway for a book. And she was like, you know, which one do you want? And I said, well, Water's Wrath is the most like precious to me because I love Baldair. And I'm not going to get into why this book broke me, but it says, here's to the books that own our souls, Baldair for life. And like she wrote a little note when she sent it to me, and she said, I'm so sorry for what I did. And so I told her, I was like, if you remember a girl from a few years ago who won a giveaway and asked you to sign Water's Wrath and you ended up apologizing for what you did, that was me. So her and I had a great conversation about my love for Baldair, her entire body of work, because I brought the German version of Water's Wrath because we could have 3 books signed, and I brought this, and inside of it, she did indeed sign it, and it does say, I'm still sorry. Elise, I forgave you a long time ago. I understand why it needed to happen, but he will always burn with the candle on my shelf that's on your own special shelf that you have an entire shelf. You technically have 2. You have one for the like standard editions and then the deluxe editions of your books. So her and I got a very, very good laugh out of this. I've been waiting to meet her for a few years now, so I'm so excited that I did. She signed this and we laughed about it. I also had her sign the original edition of Air Awakens because her 10th anniversary editions are coming out. So these are going out of print, and it's really special to me to have this signed. And then a friend of mine, Emily, sent me her Arcana Academy once she finished it, and I was able to get it signed, which Elise did sign, so another prized possession. So good. After I saw Elise, I tried to go back to the Simon Teen booth, but I didn't realize that you needed tickets for each drop, and they dropped the hour before, so I missed the ticketed drop for the Aftermath. So, Simon Kids, if you're listening to this, I've only mentioned that book to everyone I know. So if you wouldn't mind sending me a copy of The Aftermath by Tracy Wolff, peace. But I was able to be over there and around there, so I hung out with my friends for a little bit, and I was back for the 1:30 drop, which was me getting Right as Rain, and then after that, I went back over for a couple of signings, and thankfully my wonderful friend Sabrina wasn't doing anything at 2:30, she was able to make it over to the Fierce Reads booth and get me the Veronica Roth arc. Well, I was meeting one of my favorite authors, Dustin Tao, and I brought my first printing, the original edition of You've Reached Sam, because there's a gorgeous deluxe edition now. And I was like, this is just really special because I already read this book and it touched me on a deep level. I didn't want to like trauma dump on him, so I didn't. But like, I was like, I understood the grief that Julie was going through, and it meant a lot to me. And he's like, wait, you like Julie? And I was like, hold on, we're gonna have to rewind because there are people who don't like. So he and I talked about it, and I basically explained to him like, yes, I love Julie because I understood Julie, and he wrote on the page Team Julie. So yes, Dustin, I am Team Julie. I don't know why people don't like her. Her boyfriend had just died. Like, she's allowed to grieve. So I love Julie. So when I was able to get the physical of you found Oliver, I literally lost my mind. This was everything to me, honestly. And we talked about it, and I was like, I loved this too. And honestly, I was glad to see Julie again. So he even wrote in Oliver, glad you're Team Julie. So he and I had a great conversation. We took a picture together. And Dustin, yes, I will forever be Team Julie. Thank you for writing about grief in such a profound and wonderful way. I love how you do magical realism, and it meant the world to me to meet you and to get to tell you how much I love your books. And I'm so glad that I could make you happy by being Team Julie. And then after that, you've heard me talk about her books multiple times, and I think for me, this was the most nervous I ever got. I have been a longtime fan of this author. I read her first book, and I'm going to try not to cry because she is one of the 2 authors that I was dying to see. Sadly, Tracy Deonn got really sick, so I did have a ticket to her signing, but I couldn't see her, which we are not mad about. We would rather her feel better than anything. But the other one was Ava Reed, and there were 6 of us in the group, all trying to get a ticket. And one of my friends was able to get one when no one else was. Her ticket sold out so quickly, and she gave it to me, but I offered to get my friend Sabrina's Arc of Inamorata signed because she was giving me hers that was kind of damaged because I don't really care. I just want the Arc. So I got to meet Ava Reed, and it was probably the most nervous I've been. I think I blacked out. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I think I blacked out when I met her. Cause like all I remember was saying hi Eva, and then everything else is a blur. Besides me telling her I read The Wolf and the Woodsman, and since then she's been an auto-buy author, and I've been obsessed with her work ever since. Like, it means the world to me. So I brought The Wolf and the Woodsman, my Inamorata arc, and Sabrina's Inamorata arc. And mine and Sabrina's Inamorata arcs, I believe, are the first ever arcs that she's signed, which is really, really cool. I just feel grateful and like content knowing that like I own this and it's signed to me, and like, yes, she's chunky. She starts a duology. It also came with this gorgeous slipcover. It does have like a quote on each side. So I did get both of these signed for Sabrina and I. I'm gonna put it back on the dust jacket, and then I got my deluxe edition copy of The Wolf and the Woodsman signed because typically I pre-order every one of Eva's books from her local bookstore and get them signed, but I forgot to do it for this, or they weren't doing it, or I like just missed it. But she did sign and personalize it, which is where my obsession started all. So this meant the world to me. It's still wild to me that I met her, that I got to see her and talk to her and tell her like how much her books mean to me. And it's always the best feeling. Like, I still, to this day, like, you can't even thank her. I mean, honestly, any of these authors, her, Dustin, Axie, Alex, Rebecca, Elise, and many more who I didn't actually get to meet at Y'allFest because they weren't there, but that their writing means the world to me. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. I also, gonna have to find it because I just said it somewhere. I know it's around here. While I was in line with one of the signings, I met an indie author who was so sweet, and we talked about her book, and she actually had copies of the first book. She was like, oh, do you want a copy? And she handed it to me. It's called The Truth Within Lies by Sarah Allison. It's a dystopian fantasy YA. And I got really excited because when I started reading the back, I found out our female main character's name is Ainsley. In the first book that I ever wrote, which is Somewhere Over the Clouds, I'm in the process of rewriting it, my female main character's name is Ainsley, and I've always loved that name. So it sounds incredible. I'm so excited. I believe the second book is about to come out. So I am going to follow her. I'm going to tag her below so that you guys can also go follow her and read her book because it sounds incredible and I'm very, very excited about it. But she was so sweet and I'm so glad I got to meet her. She did also sign all of them, so I think that's really cool. And I'm so excited to read this. I think I'm going to start it tonight, actually. Now let's talk about some of the swag that I got. There were a lot of authors that were there that were just handing out like bookmarks and stuff for their books. So one of the bookmarks I got was for Your Debt to Me, Reed Walker, which is coming from Fierce Reads. I think I requested this, but it sounds really good, so I got one of those bookmarks. I also got a Mayhem Books metal bookmark, as well as a stage set for villains. My friend Cassie had bookmarks made that have her handle on them. I was also able to get an escape game bookmark. Goodness gracious, words are hard today. Also got a Burn the Kingdom Down bookmark. This is for Laura Nowland's books, which are like emotional YAs. Another one for Laura Nowland. This is Such a Witch, which is coming from Little Brown by Sarah Henning, which also sounds really good. I'm going to have to go ask Little Brown for this. Got a couple of Love Y'all, which is a festival in Atlanta. I guess it's sometime next year. I don't like Atlanta, I go. I also got a bookmark for Death in the Cards by Mia P. Minnesala, which also sounds really good. A Beth is Dead bookmark, and I was also standing next to this author in line waiting for Dustin Tao, and she started talking to me about her book. Her name is Delali Ajoa. She has a debut novel coming out called The Free Verse Society. Look at this. That's simply the cover. I'm also going to tag her below. It's coming out from Peachtree Teen in March, which I'm definitely going to reach out to them about this because it sounds really good. And she was so sweet. We talked about Dustin, we talked about Ava, we talked about Elise, and it was just such a great time. She is a genuinely incredible person, and I'm gooped, gagged, and gobsmacked. Next, Kate Jacobs was there. It wasn't in like an official capacity, but she had overlays and double-sided art prints for The Princess Knight, aka Medievally Blonde, and she was so sweet. I've been following her on TikTok since before she even started talking about Medievally Blonde, aka The Princess Knight, so it was cool to finally meet her and talk to her. These are the art prints I got from Axie, which were really, really, really cute. Don't mind me. My life is a mess. This is for The Floating World and The Demon in the Light, which is her newest duology. And then this is for Floating World as well. And then The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. It also does have the artist on the back, which I will tag them below. And then Dustin was giving out little sticky sheets, which you probably can't see, but yeah. This was the cute little goodie bag we got with Saturday Books. It says, books for the weekend with Saturday Books. They give us fuzzy socks. Sorry, y'all, I'm like waiting for a work slack, so. We also got our choice of tea, so I picked up a vanilla chai, some cool little Saturday Books stickies, a bookmark for Overdue. They also gave us some eye patches, and then audiobooks, which you can't have the QR code. Sorry, I love you all. Audiobook downloads, which I thought was really cool, especially for a girly who loves audio. So we got this cute little baggie, which is fun, like a little self-care, and then they also gave us these giant little tote bags that say Saturday Books with the logo. Elise also did sign posters for Dragon Cursed. This is the tote bag we got from Fierce Friday. It's all about the Six of Crows 10-year anniversary, so it has a bunch of quotes from the series on it. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for bearing with me. let's continue going through all the fun stuff that I got. We also got a diamonding set from Sourcebooks with their drop, the Twinkling Tomes, so that we can make the books that we got from them all pretty. We also got from Fierce Friday this gorgeous Cruciverse case with some pencils that have like quotes from the series on them. Heavens, no, I'm apparently pulling them out. It says, I am ruination, we are not made to please princes, no mourners, no funerals. And the monster is me and I am the monster. So those were the pencils we got. Saturday Books also gave us these lemon hair clips and a hat that says good listeners, but that's in my room, so I'm sorry. We also got Achiever pens from Macmillan and Fierce Reads. Some of the other things that I got were art from Maybe Meant to Be, The Summer for Broken Rules. Also got a gorgeous print for The Sun and the Star Maker. That's the deluxe edition if you'd like to see. Also a fun quote from Girl Goddess Queen. The Y'allFest bingo for her books, which I thought was fun. We also got a My Life with the Walter Boys bingo for when you rewatch the show, which I'm very excited about. Also, a fun little recipe card. The author was handing this out. It's for All We Hunger For by Anna Mercier, which sounds really, really good. I love it. A postcard for The Verdant Cage, Not Today Satan, and Dragon Cursed, which are all from Entangled Teen / Mayhem. One of the volunteers had a friend that wrote a hockey romance, and I immediately was sold when it said Dancing with the Stars vibes. So it's called One Last Shot by Kobe Jacks. I'm very excited. We also got a card for They All Had a Reason, which is also from Sourcebooks. It sounds really good. Y'all know I love thrillers. A sticker sheet for Soul Match. And some of these I got for friends, but like Romantic Dreamer, Suspense Seeker, Looking for Hot Demons. I got a stage set for villains and Verdant Cage stickers. Only One Hot Spring. And then they have these really cool. It says, we're here because what better way to hurt yourself than in the pursuit of perfection? And it's like this little envelope. And it opens to be careful what you cheer for. So I have to scan this because I'm very excited to figure out what this is from. I thought this was really cool. And I can't wait for whatever it is. So, yes. And then this is What Happens After Midnight, another Y'allFest art print. More Knives Than Friends. A Cold Wire sticker. Girls Who Play Dead sticker. I got the Penguin Teen Y'allFest pin. And it also says I have no shelf control. That's an old tote bag. This is the Sourcebooks tote bag that we got. It says Sourcebooks Fantasy. Another Looking for Hot Demons. Roxio also gave me a pin for her new series. And then we got some other pins. So let's see here what we got. Some of these I got for friends who I picked up the stage set for Villain Arcs for. But we got a Cole Walter is my boyfriend and a Cole Walter fan club to go with our Walter Boys bingo from Sourcebooks. We got a Star-Crossed Lovers pin, a couple of Verdant Cage pins, Love Triangle, which we love a good love triangle. Friends to Lovers, you all know, which is one of my favorites. Meet Cute, and I did get one from the Aftermath, and it's for Poseidon Hall, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. I also got a Mayhem and Mischief tote, which is really neat. And they also had like little bandanas because they did a dog like adoption event with the Charleston Humane Society, so they had adoptable dogs there for a few hours, and most of the doggies got adopted, which I thought was really, really cool. So that is all the swag that I got, all of the books that I got, all of the books that got signed. I'm still trying to process the whole weekend. It was kind of insane. Now I'm just like sitting around looking at all of these books like I don't even know how I got this lucky. I'm also going to bear with me here. There were two that were also giveaways at the event that I ended up getting in the mail. One, I got them when I returned home. I got Her Hidden Fire, which sounds incredible, and When I Was Deaf. Both are Penguin Teen, so these were also, I think, giveaways that they did with their drops. So I got those when I came home, so I felt special. But yeah, that's all the swag that I got, all the books. Overall, it's an incredible event. You definitely have to pick and choose what you want to do and want to love. And I had the best time. I thought it was an incredible event. It was actually really, really well organized. They had a ton of volunteers, a ton of people to help. The authors, the people who work for each publisher were incredible. Everyone was so sweet and so kind. And I still can't get over the fact that I was there, that I was invited to influencer events, that I met the authors that I did, that I got to meet people that work for these companies that I've been talking to who send me things. It's still surreal. I still have not gotten over it. And I cannot wait to go next year. I'm convincing a couple of my friends to go with me, and I can't wait to see what is going down next year, what we're gonna get, what chaos can brew. So yeah, I'm excited. It was a great weekend. I still don't even know what to do with myself. I probably look very tired because I'm still not fully recovered from the incredible weekend. Thank you to all of the friends who helped, all of the people who were there, everyone who I met, everyone who was in line with us. It was the most beautiful event, and I cannot wait to go again next year. I'm so glad that I did end up going. I know I hate driving, but I'm willing to make that drive again, and I will start saving now because it is worth it. Excited to see what they have in store for next year. And if you're on the West Coast, they do have one earlier in the year called Y'allFest. So definitely check that one out if you're closer to that side. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed my little breakdown. Me talking about Y'allFest, how it felt, how it went, how things were when I met these authors, all of the swag, all of the books, the craziness and the chaos. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm hoping to film some more tomorrow if I have the chutzpah to do it. I'm a couple of days out from my monthly injection for migraine, so I'm very intrigued to see how I'm feeling, but I'm gonna try. But thank you for sticking with me. I know it's been a while. Yeah, Y'allFest was great. Thank you to Y'allFest, all of the publishers, all the authors, and all of the people who were there, to my friends who were with me. You were all the best. And thank you guys so much for following along, for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends. Follow me on my other socials if this is the only place that you've ever seen me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!